Hello, friends. Today we will talk about what every gardener does sooner or later, but alas, he does not always do it right. Namely, what to cover plants with for the winter. And what to cover them with is absolutely impossible. It would seem that there is something difficult here. I threw something on and you're done. But in fact, the wrong material can destroy even a hardy plant faster than frost. Yes, it's not a joke. Sometimes a plant does not die from the cold, but from the fact that they tried to save it. Why is this topic so important? Because the weather has become unpredictable in recent years. It's a good winter until January, then severe frosts without snow, then thaws, then wild temperature fluctuations. And gardeners have to learn to work not according to the old schemes, but according to new realities, to adapt quickly and choose materials that really help, not harm. And here's a question for you. Are you sure you're covering your plants properly? Write in the comments what materials you use and why. It will be very interesting to read. Well, let's go figure out what we're hiding, why we're hiding, and what we can safely throw out of the garage so that plants don't get hurt. The main part. Part 1. Why cover plants at all? Before choosing materials, let's figure out what exactly we are protecting. 1. Frost. Obviously, frosts without snow are especially dangerous because snow is a natural blanket. 2. Sudden temperature changes. Plus during the day, minus at night, then a thaw again. Young plants most often suffer from temperature fluctuations and not the frosts themselves. 3. Sunburn. Yes, the winter sun burns the bark, especially coniferous trees, thuja, fir, juniper. 4. Soaking and steaming. The most common cause of plant death under improper shelters is that the plant simply suffocated or rotted. 5. Freezing of the roots. The main enemy is the frozen ground without snow cover. And this is where the covering materials come on the scene. If everything is done correctly, the plant will survive the winter easily. If you make a mistake, well, in the spring it will be painful to look at the results. Part 2. What can be used to cover plants? Okay, let's get to the fun part, the right stuff. 1. Agrofiber, also known as spunbond, is the king among shelters. It doesn't matter what you call it, spunbond, agrofabric, covering material, this is the best option for today. Why is it good? It breathes, lets in air, doesn't create a greenhouse, doesn't get wet, protects from the sun, keeps the heat well, lightweight, doesn't break branches, doesn't rot. It serves 4 to 6 seasons. How to use it correctly. A density of 30 to 50 grams per meter squared is sufficient for perennials. For roses, conifers, and grapes, 60 to 80 grams per meter squared. It is better to cover in 2 layers with an air layer. Question to the audience. Which spunbond do you use? White or black? Visual hint. Show a close-up of the structure of the material, how it allows air to pass through. 2. Coniferous lapnic, the old grandfather's way, and one of the most effective. Positive. Perfect ventilation. Protects from the sun, the snow lingers on it, don't sweat, don't get wet. It looks beautiful in the form of a hut. How to use. Lapnic is placed with needles up. It repels moisture. You can make a frame hut. It combines well with the spunbond. For which plants? Roses, hydrangeas, rhododendrons, coniferous trees, grape. 3. Cardboard and paper. Yes, it sounds strange, but it's really a working option. Positive. Excellent protection from the sun. It creates dry air around the bark. Cheap, eco-friendly. Using. To protect the stems of young trees. To protect the root neck. Paper is used only in dry form. Spunbond is required on top. 4. Dry leaves. Yes, but not all of them. Which ones are suitable? oak trees, maple trees, fruit trees. Which ones are not allowed? Birch trees and lime trees. They stick together and create a swamp. Nuts are phytotoxic. Using, like a cushion around plants, inside the frame shelter. 5. Straw and hay. They retain heat well, but require care. Minuses. Mice can start up. They stick together if they get wet. Using, only in an air-dry shelter. A spun bond is required on top. 6. Wooden shields and boxes. Stylish, atmospheric, and effective. Suitable for grapes, roses, small shrubs, perennials. Positive. Create an air gap. Lasting. Do not get wet. Do not come in direct contact with the plant. Part 3. What not to cover plants with. Here's where the most interesting part begins. That's what many people still cover up with and then complain that the plant hasn't overwintered. 1. Film. Ordinary polyethylene. Absolutely not. This is the worst thing you can do to a plant. Why not? It doesn't breathe. Condensation forms inside. The plant steams out. It creates a greenhouse effect. Mold develops instantly. And the main myth. The film protects you from the rain. Yes, but in winter, it's not the rain that's the problem. It's the lack of ventilation. Can I use it? Only in one case, like a roof over a frame not touching the plant and with ventilation on the sides. 2. Roofing material. Heavy, toxic, does not allow air to pass through. What is dangerous about this? Releases unpleasant substances, soaring bark, breaks branches, creates a sauna. No rose period. Just forget it. 3. Plastic bags. Not either. For the same reasons. Dangers. Condensate, mold, getting out. They often tear and frost kills the plant. 4. Rags, old things, clothes. Yes, it happens that in winter the garden turns into a flea market. Sweaters on roses, jeans on tui. But problems are, the fabric gets wet, freezes and becomes an ice crust, branches break under the weight of snow, the air is not blowing. 5. Newspapers. They are useless in one layer, and in several they turn into a wet lump. 6. Sawdust. Yes, the traditional way, but very dangerous. Why is it bad? It tracks, frees the root neck. They create waterlogging. 7. Plastic bottles, containers, and other trash. It looks terrible. It doesn't work well. Minuses. There is no ventilation. They freeze over, increase the humidity inside, and they break the plant under the weight of snow. Part 4. How to properly cover plants. Step by step. Step 1. Preparation of the plant. We remove the dry branches, prune the affected areas. For roses, we bend the shoots in advance. In conifers, we tie the crown with a soft ribbon. Step 2. Mulch around the roots. The best options. The bark, wood chips, needles, dry leaves. The height is 5 to 10 centimeters. Step 3. Air-dry shelter. This is an ideal schema. We install the frame. Inside is dry mulch. Lapnik. Top is spun bond 60 to 80 grams per meter squared. We leave ventilation on the sides. We attach the lower part from the wind. Step 4. Check the shelter during the thaw. If it's +3 to +5 degrees Celsius, ventilation is needed. Step 5. Removing the shelter correctly. You can't do it abruptly in one day. We reveal it in 3 stages. The ventilation areas were slightly opened. The top layer was removed. The plant was fully opened. This way, the plant does not get sunburn. Part 5. Examples for different plants. 1. Roses. The best hiding place. Bend down. Lapnik. Skeleton. Spunbond. In 2 layers. Hazardous materials. Film. Cloth. Bags. 2. Hydrangeas. Large-leaved hydrangea is a must. Scheme. Mulch 10 centimeters. Dry leaves. The box. Spunbond. 3. Grapes. It's important here. Shelter dry vines. Avoid dampness. Box plus spunbond is the best option. 4. Perennials. Hostas, peonies, etc. Enough. Lapnik, dry leaves, spunbond 30 to 40.